Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 9 of Play Like a Girl. My name is Gianna, and I'm one of the co-hosts. Unfortunately, Laura is not here because of a family emergency, but she will be in my prayers. With that being said, I'm so excited to say that we have another great guest this episode. She is a volleyball superstar who is a 2-time champion, and she was named the All-Star for 2016, 2017, and 2019. She helped break her school record by the 4x4 relay in 2016 track and field. She played 8 years for the New York City Junior Volleyball Club and 2 years for the Brooklyn Elite Volleyball Club. And now she is playing for Boston College. So I'm excited to say that Bridget Green is on our show this week. Hi, Bridget. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. It's nice to finally speak to you.
Yeah, nice to see you.
So for the viewers that don't know, me and Bridget used to skate together when we were very young. I think she stopped when you were like 5 or 6. How old were you?
I was actually a little later, like 10, or basically when I started to get into volleyball, I started to go to skating less. Yeah.
Okay, great. So me and Bridget were like best friends when we were younger.
Yeah.
It was actually my sister's idea to contact you because
Oh, really?
she's on Instagram. So she was like, "Oh my God, Gianna, you should see like what Bridget's doing. Like she's."
Oh.
But she always asks about you guys.
Oh, yeah, my sister always talks about you guys too. We haven't seen each other in so long.
And a COVID-free brunch.
Yes.
Back to New York from school.
Definitely.
But yeah, so why don't you tell us a little bit of how you got into volleyball, that transition from switching from skating and going into it?
Yeah. Well, basically, we had a volleyball team at our school in like fourth grade, mandatory volleyball, and our coach at school ran a volleyball club in New York City and just told everyone who was interested to go try out. So me and a few friends went to try out, didn't really think much of it, just thought it'd be fun to do. And then I ended up really loving it. The first year I got onto like the B team, but then the second year I got onto like the A team that traveled a little more. It was still like 12 and under, but I really, really liked it. And that's when I kind of decided that I would want to pursue that more than skating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when you first started playing volleyball, did you know that you wanted to pursue it to a higher level? Or were you just doing it for fun? And then when you were in high school, you were like, wow, I can do this in college.
Well, I mean, when I first started out, I didn't really think about college or that far yet, but I really liked just the team aspect of it and how competitive it was, especially when I made that travel team and we went to these like huge tournaments. I never had seen like that huge competition before. And when we went to these tournaments, we could see like the older girls play. And, I always thought it was like a dream of mine to be able to play at that level, even if it was just like the highest level of club in high school. So I just kept doing it and really fell in love with it more.
Okay. I watched some of your highlights and you are incredible.
Well, thanks. Oh my gosh.
You're welcome. So when you made it on the travel team, like were you afraid when you first tried out? Because I know when I started playing softball and I finally tried out for my first travel team, I was like, I took a step back and I was like, oh my God, like, I don't know if I'm ready to play.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I really hadn't played volleyball at all before I tried out, but I was so young that they were more focused on just like your athletic ability and your potential to play. So yeah, I had like really no expectations for it. And I was definitely nervous at first, but I wanted to try it out. So I'm happy I did.
It's a good thing that you did because yeah, right now. So, was there anybody in your life that pushed you to do volleyball? Like, did anybody in your family?
Well, my older sister, Kelly, who, like from ice skating,
Yeah.
she went to a volleyball camp, and that exposed me a little bit to it before I even tried out. We used to just like play in our backyard, and she never pursued it or played club, but that was my first initial exposure. And then I always really looked up to the older club players, like high school players in my club when I was younger. I just really thought that what they were capable of was really amazing, and I wanted to be able to play like them one day.
Yeah, totally. It's like whenever you're on any team, even if it's travel or not, and you see these older girls playing, you always want to be like them. Like I know when I made my first travel team, I think for softball I was on 12U. I'm sure you guys have like 14U. Do you have that for volleyball?
Yeah. My first team I was on 12s too. Yeah.
So my first team was also 12U, and then I just remember looking up to these 18U girls who were, or these 16U girls who were getting scouted by the college teams, and I was like, oh, am I gonna do that?
Yeah, it's crazy.
So what would you say from your travel team was your favorite tournament or one of your favorite memories?
I just basically, especially when I was younger, we really became close with all of the players on our team. I'm still really, really close with most of the girls that I started out with because we kind of went through most of the years together. Some of them are playing in college now and some of them aren't, but we all are still really close. And just those memories, like sleeping over at long tournaments and traveling together, you really can't like replace those. So it's really fun. Yeah.
No, I definitely agree. You said some of them went to college. Do you play any of them, or are any of them at
not in our conference, but maybe in the future. We'll see. One of my best friends, Olivia Haskins, plays for Northwestern. She's not in my conference. And then a few other of my friends play in like the Ivy League or the NESTAC conference. So yeah, haven't got to play any of them yet, but
that's fine. Hopefully in the future when everything like dials down with COVID, will change.
Yeah.
But, talking about COVID, I was looking at your schedule and it's a little different than different than any basketball schedule. So can you like explain how COVID changed that and what precautions you guys had to take while playing?
Yeah. So everything has been just really up in the air this year. Initially, the whole team was supposed to come in June to practice and lift June, July, and then we were supposed to have preseason in August. And we ended up not being able to do that just because of coronavirus, and like in our area, it was pretty bad in Massachusetts. So we just ended up coming with when all the other students came in the end of August, and we really had a few weeks to practice until our first game. So our schedule this season was also really different for the fall. We normally play like each team once or twice, and we're allowed to play out of conference as well. So like a total of 28 or so games. And instead this year, we were only allowed to play in conference, and they split up the ACC, the conference that we're in, into different pods. Okay. So we played 4 teams each twice, and the teams that we played in were pretty much like the hardest teams in the ACC. So it was pretty difficult. Like, honestly, we were the only team, I think, who didn't get to be able to be on their campus practicing for preseason and over the summer. But, we knew that coming in, so we had a lot to make up for, and we just wanted to make the most out of our time playing these tough teams.
Okay. Yeah, that kind of, I go to URI. So,
yeah.
The teams here like are barely practicing, and they're barely like seeing each other. So
yeah,
I'm surprised that you guys even got that practice time for those couple of weeks before the season.
Yeah, we're lucky. Like a lot of most conferences have canceled their play, so at least we're able to have some games.
Yeah, no, that's great. Okay, so we're gonna go to a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, we're gonna continue to talk about BC.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
No problem. Hi guys, welcome back to episode 9 of Play Like a Girl. We have our guest Bridget Green with us.
Hi.
So before we left for commercial break, we were talking about how COVID changed everything for your season. This is your first year, right?
Yeah, I'm a freshman.
Yeah. Were you kind of like bummed out when you went into it, knowing that your season wasn't going to be like this, like the juniors or the seniors before you? And then
I was bummed out about missing the last half of my senior year and like that summer. And I was also just kind of more stressed out because I wasn't really able to practice because I'm from New York City and like basically everything was shut down over quarantine. So just coming in off the bat, not really having much practice was a little scary. But yeah, I was more kind of, well, also like my team has a lot of freshmen. We have 10 incoming freshmen and out of like a team of 20. And a few of our like upperclassmen were injured this year too. So we knew it was like a heavily freshman team and we just kind of we had like workouts over the summer that we had to do. I wasn't really able to get into a gym either because that wasn't open, but like at home workouts, we really had a lot, like the coaches expected a lot of us to be able to play as best as possible for like those seniors who we didn't know if this was going to be their last season or not, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of terrifying though. Like you're a freshman.
Yeah.
Take the place of the seniors. But I've seen the way you play volleyball. So
thanks.
Okay. We talked about how COVID affected your season. When I introduced you, I was talking about how you were the all-star for 2016, 2017, and 2019. And I did read about you having an injury in 2018. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes. So going into my junior year of high school over the summer, I tore my ACL, MCL, and meniscus. Okay. So I had to have surgery and I was out of play for about like 9-10 months. And that was definitely one of the most difficult things I've ever had to do to come back from that injury. But, you know, I knew I wanted to keep playing volleyball and just work as hard as I could to get back to where I was before my injury. Yeah. It was also pretty tough because it was like in the middle of my recruiting process. I had visited some schools and still hadn't committed then. So I was worried about, you know, if coaches would still want to have me even though I was injured. But yeah, it was definitely a tough process, but it was worth it in the end.
Oh yeah, that's really scary. I can relate to you because my senior year of high school, I tore my PCL.
Oh no.
But I didn't need surgery on it. But the physical therapy was crazy. Like,
yeah,
so bad. But I can't imagine. I don't even know how. Like, did anybody when you tore your ACL? Like, that's one of the worst injuries in athlete. Were you like? Was there ever a time where you were like, oh my God, like I don't know if I can like come back from this, or like, did you ever think you were gonna be like, okay, I'm done?
I never thought I was gonna be done, but I'd say like, I mean, I tried to take it day by day. I knew there was gonna be bad days and good days, but I think it was honestly more just mentally challenging coming back when I was healthy or healthier, you know, when I could actually play still in the brace and just like always thinking about the possibility of another injury. And my knee, you know, when I came back, I still didn't have like full speed and range of motion. Nothing like clicked. It was like I really had to work for it back. And I really almost would say that I started to feel 100% or like back to my level of play before the injury, right before like coronavirus happened. So that was, you know, another setback, like right when I started to feel okay again and not think about my injury. I was out, not due to my control, but for however many months. So, you know, but like setbacks happen. You just have to do whatever is in your control.
Yeah.
To get back to playing. Yeah.
That's really important because like no matter what sport you play, if you have a setback and you love your sport, you should push yourself with all your strength to get back into it.
Definitely.
But so what so while you were hurt, you were still like in your like recruitment process. So how did BC, like how did that entire thing happen with the signing and everything?
Well, I actually knew the current Boston College coaches before they were even at BC. I was talking to them at their schools before they became coaches at BC. So they really wanted me to come out and visit for a long time. And I knew that a lot of people from New York City, especially my school, have like historically went there because I went to an all-girls Catholic school, and everyone says it's pretty similar to BC. So, I was really just hesitant to go because I thought I wanted something really different for college.
Yeah.
But after my injury, they were really basically they just pushed me to come visit. And I was like, I'm injured. I might as well see if I like it. So I came and I loved it. And before I visited, I basically loved everywhere I visited. So it was really hard for me to choose where I wanted to go. But once I visited and saw the campus and talked to the coaches, I already felt so comfortable with them because I knew them for so long from their past recruiting. I just knew it was really the right place.
That's great though.
Yeah.
I visited BC and it was beautiful.
Oh, really? Yeah. Super nice now too in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, before commercial, you were talking about how you had such a great, you got along really well with the girls on your travel team. Do you feel like when you came to BC and you won on the team, everybody got along really easily and these girls were like sisters to you, or were you kind of scared going into it because again, you didn't get to know each other until a couple of weeks?
Yeah, well, I was definitely nervous because I had been playing volleyball with the same girls for years, and it's just always a transition no matter who they are. When you're on a new team, you're going to need to play a lot with them to get that chemistry and to just get to know them better in order to play well. Yeah. But everyone has been super nice, super welcoming, and it's been really, really great. Everyone gets along really well. Yeah.
It's great to have a supporting team because
definitely.
That's what keeps the game so fun for you. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, I was also gonna say, can you tell us what a day in the life of a D1 Boston College volleyball player entails?
Okay, sure. So in season, it's pretty busy. We have practice. On a week when we're not traveling, we have practice every day except for Monday. Mm-hmm. And also because of coronavirus, we all can't be at the locker room at the same time. Mm-hmm. So the freshmen have to be there earlier than everyone else and, get all your stuff on and get out of there before everyone comes in. So we have to be there at 6:45, and then we have to do prehab, set up the net, start playing. Basically, we're out of there. Depending on the day, we might have lift for an hour, but we're out of there by 11. And then I usually shower, try to eat lunch fast, and then go to class from 12 to 3 or 12 to 4. But I always have 12 o'clock classes, so it's pretty tight. Then homework, dinner, homework, sleep, basically. In season, it's a lot of balancing academics and volleyball, but yeah.
So it's eat, sleep, repeat.
Yeah. I like having volleyball in the morning, honestly. I'm not a morning person, but I like to start with it, and then you already feel productive for your day and don't have to worry about it. Yeah.
There was definitely times where we had 5 a.m. practices and I just did not want to wake up.
Oh yeah, I know. Especially as it's starting to get dark out, it's harder to wake up and colder in the mornings, but
well, I'm also in New England, so it's been so cold so quick.
Yeah.
It's kind of getting crazy. Okay, so I have one last question because I know for at least me for softball, the numbers that we choose for our jerseys have meaning behind them. Is there a meaning behind number 18, or did you just?
I actually didn't get to choose my number 18, but I actually learned recently it's one of my best friend's number from high school. She doesn't play anymore, but she goes to Georgetown, Vivian Lang. So I'm really happy I'm number 18 actually, because I
Yeah.
was in high school and we're still pretty close. So
I'm gonna say, like, what a coincidence, because when I first joined my travel team, I wasn't given a number and they gave me 18.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I kind of stuck with it because it was my brother's jersey number for
Oh,
hockey all throughout NYU. So I was like, oh, he's kind of like with me throughout every game now.
yeah, I love that.
We're both number 18 in our lives.
Yeah.
So the last question I have before we wrap up, I asked this at the end of every podcast, and it's basically, what does it mean to play like a girl, and why is it important for the younger generations to understand the meaning behind it?
I think playing like a girl means just playing as hard as you can, no matter what circumstance. And, as a girl, you're expected to not, or there's a stereotype that you're not going to compete as tough as guys do, but just proving that stereotype wrong, being strong, like mentally and physically, because all of the girls I've played with have been like extremely strong mentally and physically and have proved that stereotype wrong. So, yeah, I think it's important for younger girls to really know that you can have an impact on the field. And also, I just think that playing sports in general it's really, really helpful for young girls to learn important lessons like teamwork and dedication that'll stay with them for the rest of their lives.
No, yeah, I completely agree. That was a great answer to that question. It is very important for the younger generations to realize that, because growing up, people say that we can't do certain things because we're not a boy, or we can't play certain sports because we aren't guys and we don't have the same muscles or whatever. But
Mhm.
do not listen to what anybody has to say,
Yeah.
because girls are elite and they
Yes,
do everything that they put their minds to.
exactly.
But yeah, thank you so much, Bridget, for
Thank you.
the show. I had a really great time catching up with you.
Yeah, me too.
I hope that in the summer we can have brunch with our sisters, because
Oh, definitely. That would be so good.
But yeah, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, bye. Thank you.
No problem. Okay. So that was Bridget on episode 9 of Play Like a Girl. I hope you guys enjoyed. Next week, make sure that you tune in, because we are going to have another exciting guest with us. And as you know, this was our podcast called Play Like a Girl for the girls. Bye.